ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I want to know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service, coming to you as usual from the great state of Texas here in the USA. It's always a privilege to come to you with information that can free you, information that can, ladies and gentlemen, give you, empower you and give you knowledge, the knowledge that liberates. Thank you for tuning in. Good evening to all of you in Europe, in all of Asia, in all of the United States, in South America, Canada, everywhere in the world where you find yourself, most especially if you are African, but particularly Amazonian. Thank you once more for tuning in. As usual, I expect you to go ahead, hit your share button. Hit your share button, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be very, very exciting. Of course, I remain your anchor man, Chris Ano. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and hit your share button because, again, this promises to be very, very exciting broadcast. Let me take a few minutes to see who is joining. I do this once in a while to appreciate all of you, the fans out there. Let me see those of you who are joining the broadcast. Please keep on, make sure as you join, you keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button as you join. Let us quickly populate, ladies and gentlemen, the platform. We are under attack here on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. I realize we have been shut down. We have been shut down on Facebook. We have been shut down on Facebook, but we are not shut down on the satellite, of course. And we will make sure we get back to Facebook with immediate effect. So if you were watching by way of Facebook, sorry about that. I hope that you get back on. But let me see what is going on there. Let me see what is going on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. I realized a few minutes ago, the moment I went on, we were shut down. We are back on Facebook. We are back on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Whatever happened, Facebook, I guess, is trying to censor us. But we are back, and I'm glad we are back. Why I had hardly begun. So please go ahead and hit your share button. Let those who left the platform know that we are back live on the air. Let me see those who are joining. Okay, I see the numbers jumping really quick. Please go ahead and quickly hit your share button. I don't know what happened. Facebook kind of shut us down, but we are back up and I can see the numbers jumping. I see Hannah Vine watching, and I see also Robinson Ikene. Awesome. Secretary Chris, thank you. Tewa Free, always here and with a love sign. Thank you, ma'am. Diodone Kiyan, they will fail all them. Thank you. I hope you are speaking to our detractors out there. Ladies and gentlemen. MB Wheezy, he said, please keep sharing. Yes, everybody, hit your share button. Let the numbers quickly jump back up in the space of 5 minutes. Let's shame the enemy, the detractors, by making the numbers at least 1K, so that I can raise the tone. You know, some people say I should lower the tone. How can I lower the tone, ladies and gentlemen? When people are dying, anybody who says you should lower your tone while some people are being killed in others' homes, being raised down, they are not on your side. They are not on our side. They are our enemies, and there is no way we are going to lower our tone for as long as the war in Amazonia prevails. So, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit that share button. Shame the devil, shame the enemy, shame Facebook. No matter how many times they shut us down, you will gather back. Thank you. Abong Johnny. Shame, shame, shame to Facebook Shirais. Thank you, ma'am. AJ Succeed. Hello, Anchorman. Chris Ano. Ngongos. Oh, these things are just jumping here. Ewat Billy Blank, thank you for joining. Asheri Silas, I see you. Titia, I missed that. Thank you. I see also Bertrand, somebody, a baby, I see you. Diodone, Kiyang, I think I mentioned you a few minutes ago. Bechem Daryl, thank you, you're always here. I see also in Congo, Noe. Thank you, sir. Hello, our eloquent secretary. Go on, sir. I definitely will go on. Thank you. David Nkongim. I'm here, my uncle man. Thank you, sir. AJ Succeed, always here too. We love you, Secretary Chris. Thank you, sir. Peter Francis Adufa. Amazonia must be free. Yes, sir. Inji Etibet or something like that. Yeah. You know what better for who? This must be a lot of public to Cameroon agents. You are watching the wrong television, the wrong channel, sir. Why waste your time if you are not enjoying it or except you are just pretending? Don't waste your time. Switch the channel and watch something else. All right. I see also Ewad Billy Blank, I mentioned you. I wanted to shout out that man who says you are raising your voice. Well, don't mind them. They don't know. They don't know what it means to be at war and to be losing family and friends and everything that you have saved for your lifetime. They don't understand it. They eat from the other side and they think that they can subtly get us to tone down so they can just keep on killing our people and getting them out of their homes to refugee camps. All right, Vivian Abidu, of course, always here. I see also Lange Jude Inge watching from Kuflu. Where is Kuflu? This must be in the Bui, I believe. All right, Powerful, I see you, sir. Desmond Fojo, I see you watching from UAE. Ojong Akabum, Michelle, Secretary Chris, good evening, sir, he says. Thank you, sir. Young Graphic, this is the only one anchor man that keeps me for more than 3 hours on Facebook. All right, that is great to know. Thank you, sir, and I appreciate your time. Mega Projects, anchor man. I see Harrison HKF Jr. Tell them the truth. We definitely do here. We tell them the truth. Asungayi Boris. Hello, Secretary Chris says. Grace Johnny watching from the great state of Texas. Wonderful. I need to meet you. All right. Roland Bado says, is this Slim Baby? Come here. That's interesting. Malam Musa watching you from Angola. Oh, this is Alaji. Secretary Chris will come you live. Thank you, Alaji. All right, from Angola, that's a good. Peter Francis Adufa, God bless my nation, Ambazonia. And I also have Insa Festus. I see also Bole Toleti, who is saying we will not go down to Boya. Nobody is saying that here, not on this platform, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this, giving you a little time to go ahead and hit that share button. Let's get 1K, please, 1K, just 1K in the next 5 minutes. This is not going to be a long broadcast. It's going to be a short one, maybe about an hour or hour and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, so go on and do that. Mbakem, Osla, Lekoaka. I guess you know I pronounce your name like a really Bawa man, right? Lekoaka. All right. Secretary Chris is a game changer. God bless you. Thank you, ma'am. Richard Abaiwe. Richard is always here. Richard said, good job. Thank you, sir. Ngongos Emma. Thanks, Papa. God bless you. Thank you, ma'am. Sue Dennis. So all you know now is Sako. Shame on you. How can I have shame on me? What is the name again? Sue Dennis. Dennis, how can I have shame on me when I am saving you? I am here saving you. You say shame on me. You don't have respect in you. When you come among people like this, you read comments like this, other comments like this, respect yourself before they kick you out. All right. Ojo, I mentioned this one. Chenwe Fokopsen. Let's focus, Anchorman. Good. Mark Clark, I see you, sir, watching from La Republique du Cameroon, Yaoundé. If you are watching from Ground Zero, please mention the town or the city you are watching from. Young, I mentioned Young Graphic. Ping and Secretary Chris, our Anchorman, is not only live, but alive. Thank you, ma'am. Hit your share button. I see the numbers are jumping now. I'm playing this delay tactics just so that you can do so. Let's get 1K. We're almost halfway gone. This promises to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's do that quickly. George, I see you. Constance Mono, I see you too. Agwotorumbe Ayok Enes. Hello, sir. Who makes those powerful monologues? I bet you our PhD holders can't stand it. They want me to tone down. That's why somebody has called them people with permanent head damage. They can't stand the truth. They can't stand when you speak truth to power and they ask you to tone down. Tone down. We're not going to tone down here, ladies and gentlemen, for as long as it makes sense. We'll just keep it on. Hit your share button. All right. Fan Rich watching from Binju. Where is Binju? I guess this should be in the Bui, I guess. Dora Ann. Always here. Hi, our Anchorman. Ahead. Also, Mba Patricio watching from Mexico. I always knew there were Amazonians watching from Mexico. They call it Mexico. Americans call it Mexico. All right, thank you, Patricio. Young Graphic, I mentioned you. Prince Honor Van Vicker watching from Dubai. George, hi, the only, and I think it means to write the only Anchorman ahead. Thank you, sir. Ingwa Irene. I hope this is not the Irene we know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scared of that name. Hello, Secretary Chris the Great. Certainly not the Irene we know. I won't get this kind of compliment from her. Thank you. Prince, no worry, watching from UAE. Thank you, sir. Henry Abi. Good evening, Secretary Chris, watching from Ground Zero. Kwa. Wonderful. I hope you guys remain safe out there. Kwa is one of those places where firepower began in this struggle, and I want to believe that all of you out there in Kwa are still respecting firepower and standing up to the colonizers and telling them until we reach Boya. Okay, Margaret Tanwane. We love you, Secretary Chris. Thank you, ma'am. Mata Njo, always here too. God bless you, Secretary Chris. Don Daniel from Dallas. We need to meet Don. Thank you for joining, sir. Prince Honor mentioned you. Martin Ikome. Anu, how much you thief? You see, I read all your negative comments. They don't worry me because they say, well, you have a free conscience. And that is why I also take all of your calls, no matter how negative they may be. But thank God, 99% of your calls are always positive. But even when they are negative, I still take them. That's to show you how liberal and open-minded we are here. But listen, this guy goes to the what? Equity. This guy sitting here goes to equity with clean hands, and so you can talk about thievery here. At least you should be talking about thievery to those who are sabotaging the audit out there, not those who are going for audit and coming out and still talking. Hello. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that share button. The numbers are slow now. Hit that share button. I got something to bring to you. So thank you. I like this exercise I'm doing here because I'm really understanding how some of you feel. Okay, I see Moses Tanyi, the anchor man. Moses Tanyi is writing right here, Houston, Texas. Thank you, sir. Solomon Emba, no to all Sako'S surrogate congregation. ASSC, he says, no to all Sako'S surrogate congregation. That is a good acronym there for that abbreviation. Thank you, sir. Mume Ndarga, always here, Sako and surrogates. What does he? Oh, I missed that. Oh, Pa Aso, they have sent their ASSC invite to Yaoundé. I guess so. You may be very correct because I realize that those of us who live in the USA do not as much as know where this meeting is taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, and I have included this in my monologue. Can you imagine? You are calling for what they call all Amazonians, all Southern Cameroon's conference, and nobody knows the venue. The only thing that is out there is log into Zoom. Where are they holding it? It is not out. What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of, ladies and gentlemen? That is to tell you how clandestine everything about them is. All right? Thank you for that. Asong, Abraham, we are strongly, he says, I missed the rest of it. No, he said, watching from Greece, Athens, to be precise. Wonderful. Let me know where you are tuning in from, please. Jersey Martins, without you, Amazonia will never be a reality. I don't want to take that credit because so many people are doing so many things. You happen to see what I do because you see me. But thank you for the compliment anyways. Please hit your share button. I want to see 1 plus K on this screen. Please, quickly, if you are just joining, hit that share button. Don, the Lion of Amazonia. Thank you, sir. Jolie Jojo, Sako is now going Gariga. You are correct. You are very much correct. They thought they could hijack our institutions, our treasury, everything, the website. They thought they could hijack it, but I bet you there is bad news on the way for them because Amazonians are coming after them. Amazonians are coming after every one of them. Unfortunately, there are some very ignorant people whom Sako is using to carry out these clandestine activities, ladies and gentlemen. They will soon realize by the time they stand before the courts and the judges, Sako may not be there, but they will be there defending themselves to death. Have you realized? You who continue to put your signatures in documents, in meetings, and documents put out there by Sako, ladies and gentlemen, that Sako's names are not on those documents. Sako is very smart. Ladies and gentlemen, he is very, very smart. Because look at this Ambazonia Foundation thing. And the Southern Cameroon's Foundation. He changes, they go hold a clandestine meeting, change the board of directors clandestinely. Sako is not there. He put these ladies there, Midrechi, Yangni Victorine, and these guys, Faik Monono, and Abuno Ekwe. He puts their names there. When this thing gets to the courtrooms, ladies and gentlemen, before the judges, I bet you Sako will only appear there as a witness, not as those who carried out that illegal activity, changing the names of those board of directors without proper consultation. They will pay, but Sako will never pay. Sako, every dime that gets into Sako's hands, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't go directly to him. He hides his tracks like the smartest 419er you can imagine. He hides his tracks. Sako needs money from you. You are in Canada, he will say, send the money to France. He gives you somebody's name in France to send the money to. If you doubt me, call Ambazonians in Australia to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, call Ambazonians in Australia to find out, to confirm what I'm telling you. That is how crafty this guy and corny that he can be. But listen, those who are fronting for him, if you are out there fronting for him, I'm sorry for you, it won't end up really, really good, because this time Ambazonians are standing up to take back their institutions and to defend them. Hit your share button quickly, somebody. All right, the numbers are jumping. Hit your share button if you are just joining. I have not started yet, because this broadcast will not be long, So I'm just do some entertainment now with these viewers here before I come back to it. Ka Moke, such a craze. You are doing a great job. Thank you, sir. Gabi Onye, watching from Womb. Wonderful. God bless you and stay there safe, sir. I also see, wow, so many here. Mary B, I see you. Sama Thomas, what a hair. The fun of Esau killed? Let me see this. What the hair the fun of Esau killed? Unbelievable. Are the Fullers in Esau too powerful than the indigenous people? Is it that hard to send all these guys flying? There is bad news for them on the way. I promise you. I promise them. This is coming from Simon Thomas. That is news I have not heard. So we don't know what is in the background here. So we will get to that probably later in the week. Gary House, I see you, sir. I see also Triple Nelly. They are very useless women who never loved Ambazonia. Very terrible. Okay. Ivan Dalapena. We need strong institution, not strong men. You are very, very correct, sir. Hit your share button again. I am coming to you today very, very excited, and my tone as high as you can imagine out there, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Francis Adufa. Sako is a dictator, he says. Rita Ng Wu. Monyongo. Great job, our Amber Anchor man. God bless you. Thank you, man. Mambo Pena. Hello. Our able secretary. Daft man, I see you. Don, watching from Bangkok. Wonderful. Stateless citizen. I do be yeah. I don't know what I mean. The fun of Esau killed by armed Fulanese. By armed Fulanese. The fun of Esau killed by armed Fulanese. That is sad. Ladies and gentlemen, this interim government in the days ahead, we are going to start arresting these Fulanis. We don't care who sends them. We don't care how equipped they are. We will start going after them. Listen, this struggle is picking back up steam. It's picking steam back up. And I'm telling you, the days are coming when we start going after people like this. We will investigate this and bring details to you. Frank Gariba says, Tele-citizen Adubiya says the phone of Isu in Menchum Northern Zone has been massacred by armed Fulanis. Listen, if you are out there and you have any details about the killings place, call when I open the phone lines. Let us know what went on in Esu. Martin Inyenti, hi. Fongum, Desmond, I see you. Prince Rene, changing the names of the board of directors without their concern is a federal crime in the United States. Victoria Yanni doesn't know that. Faik Monono, or is it doing Monono? Doesn't know that. Mildred Chi doesn't know that. Abuno Ekwe doesn't know that. And they will pay. They will pay. And I mean it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for that. Ade Marcos. Chris, I'm in the capital city of La Republic watching. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. I hope you lock your door before watching this channel, before they come in and get you. Shetu Awudu. I'm watching from Indiana. Wonderful. Moment Daga right. Join and share. Join and share. Okay, thank you. Please, I see the numbers growing, but not to my liking yet. I want to see 1K on that screen while I read your opinion. Your opinion. I'm making this a little bit, for those who want me to lower my tone, I'm making this in a little lighter mood today. So that's another way of lowering my tone, if you love that. But you know, when that thing comes over me, I can't hold it. I just can't hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is something that triggers that. And when I see those corpses lying in the bushes, ladies and gentlemen, I just can't hold it. Again, I just can't hold it. Listen, some of us are all invested in this struggle. Let me tell you why. If by any chance, any means, we lose this war, ladies and gentlemen, some of us may never go back home. Most of us in the diaspora, whose faces are out there, including you, may never go back home. Some of us have lost everything at home. If I went home today, I don't have a family home to sleep in. Nothing. I mean, where I was born and bred. Just imagine that all the memories of your childhood are gone in this war. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we fight it every day as if it is the last day to fight. And please, let us continue to do so. Because again, if we lose it, we may never see our mothers again. We may never see our fathers again. We may never see our heritage again, ladies and gentlemen. And La Republic will love it. But listen, we must fight until we get to Boya. All right. Ping An, when those women will be crying, we will be jubilating. I guess we are referring to Victoria Yanni, Chi, Mildred, and the rest. And Irene, of course. Jim Tanko writes, Secretary Chris, nobody could believe that one day you will turn against Sako. You are very right. I like your point. You are very, very correct. But listen, there are moments you can only act upon the level of information that you know, that you have. The moment you begin to see certain things, your opinion of people begin to change. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that when we are in a struggle like this one, a struggle that has to do with the lives of over 8 million people, please, let's not allow one man to destroy the destiny of 8 million people. And that is why I was telling the former Comptroller General the other day and said, it wasn't enough for you to resign from the Treasury and walk away because you saw corruption and fraud perpetrated in the Treasury. Because when you walk away, what happens? They just continue. The fraud and the corruption, the embezzlement, the mismanagement, it just continue. Ladies and gentlemen, at every point in time, somebody has to blow the whistle when things look to be going wrong. Yes, at every point in time, somebody has to blow the whistle. If we don't do that, we all perish. And that is a fact. If you don't blow the whistle, we all perish. This struggle would have been over if the whistle was not blown a few months ago. They called me all sorts of names and said, Chris, I know is sold out to La République du Cameroon. And many of you out there were going to believe it. If this television set wasn't here, they plan to use ABC to slander yours truly. In Sako went around boasting to some cabinet members, he is going to use 45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to crush Chris Anu. He told them that. He said Chris Anu was compromised when his mother and sister were released from Yaoundé. He reached a deal with Emir Bankoi. Ladies and gentlemen, Sako said he told at least 4 cabinet members that I know of who can testify. In fact, some of them have testified that here. Ladies and gentlemen, I was terribly disappointed. This is a man I defended. This is a man I stood for. This is a man I have received bullets for. And up to today, there are people out there who say, Secretary Chris, you cannot pretend now. You cannot make now as if you are an angel because you were all part of it. You see, I earned that bad name, that bad reputation because of Sako, but I took bullets for him. Ladies and gentlemen, in this struggle, there should not be permanent. In this struggle, when people do the right thing, we will continue to stand with them. When they do the wrong thing, we will expose them. And nobody should come under any intimidation. Don't be a coward like Tita Emmanuel, who gets given the post of president. He lobbies for it. He is given the post, and before you know, they call him and intimidate him. They call him and say, we're going to expose something about you. That is why we say, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to Equity, make sure your hands are clean. They called Tita and they said to him, we are going to expose you. We are going to, all the things that you have been doing, hiding in your past, we're going to expose you. They thought they were going to intimidate yours truly the same way. But listen to me. When I go to Equity, I go with clean hands. They fabricated all kinds of stories. Secretary Chris is compromised. So I asked the head of state, since when was your cabinet member compromised, sir? That you only learn how to go out and gossip about it after he walks away from you. Since when was he compromised? If he is compromised, what is the brother doing in the bush? Fighting for Ambazonia, defending Ambazonia. If he is compromised, exactly what has he done inconsistent with what he has always done? What has he done, ladies and gentlemen? If he is compromised, his mother cannot travel out of that damn country. You know why? They confiscated her passport in their damn airport in Yaoundé. Up to today, my mother cannot get out of that country because they confiscated her passport. And somebody is there wanting you to know Chris Anu is compromised. Well, we know today who is compromised. It is Dr. Samuel Ekome Sako, ladies and gentlemen, who is compromised. They went out and said, Chris Anu you are not seeing Chris Anu because he is running from an audit. The Comptroller General was here. Remember, I mentioned in my monologue, I was the one who called the Comptroller General and said to him, I learned you are auditing ABC. And he said yes. He never had the need, ladies and gentlemen, to place a phone call to me to say, hey, I need your explanation in this. I need your explanation in that. He had no reason to call me. Instead, I am the one who called him to say, how is the audit going, ladies and gentlemen? Then they said, but they keep on saying, Chris doesn't want an audit. I said, okay, bring it on. Bring the audit on. They call for an audit and they summoned me first. I'm there and back. Ladies and gentlemen, they were expected to hear that Chris bought this, Chris bought that, Chris carried out this transaction, Chris carried out that transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris did not even have his name on the bank accounts of ABC. I did not buy anything on behalf of ABC, apart from ordering the bills to be paid. Every time the month was over, I called the treasurer and said, is there enough money in their accounts? Can we pay the satellite? Can we pay the internet? Can we pay that guy? Can we pay this guy? That was all that I did. Martin Mungwa was so disappointed. I'm talking about the unvetted Secretary of Communications. He was part of that audit team, ladies and gentlemen. He was so disappointed. He went gaga in there, tried to look for a fault, tried to look for a small fault he could hang on me. I just laughed at him in there. I was like, why are you so frustrated, Mr. Martin Mungwa? Why are you so frustrated? He couldn't. He was disappointed because he came in there thinking that Chris was on some salary. Chris was making purchases or requisitions. No. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to equity, go with clean hands. That is what this struggle should be. I have been in this revolution, in this struggle, in this government from day number one. I have not been paid a dime. Would I love to take it? Of course, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to take it. And that is why I am telling those who say the president should not earn a stipend that no, it is, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very stressful job. There is no way you can successfully run that presidency with a full-time job. I would never say Dr. Sako did not deserve a stipend. I would never. And if you give me that job, I will ask you to pay me. Let me be open to you. I would say you must pay me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an easy job. So I hope you understand that. But I've never been given a dime, paid a dime. We are doing this pro bono. And they want you to believe that, oh, Chris is running from an audit. Chris did that. I am reading something now out there. Some people say, I see some 8,000. Chris said he was paying the satellite for 8,000 when it was 2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, so many fabrications out there. Let me explain to you. I don't know why. I didn't plan to do all of this. I didn't plan to come here narrating all of this, but I think this is just being improvised. But this is what happened. Hit your share button, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see 1K. If you are just joining, hit your share button. But let me tell you this. When we started ABC in 2018, the satellite B was $9,000, I think $9,500. $9,500. And listen to me, that $9,500 was cheaper than what SCBC was paying. SCBC was, in fact, Our B was cheaper by 1,000, yet it was the same satellite. But we were able to negotiate it to 9,000 something. I think about a year or two after, it was getting difficult to pay the bills. We were owing the satellite company so much money. And I called the satellite company. We were able to negotiate it down to 8,300. Ladies and gentlemen, down to not even 8,000, but 8,300. Of course, the records are there. If the records were not there, you would have heard that, oh, Chris was taking the money and chopping the money, right? So the records are there. And the good thing is that the payments never passed through yours truly hands. No, it wasn't like, oh, the satellite is due, send the money to Secretary Chris to go and pay. Never, never, not even once. The money left the treasurer, left the bank wired transferred to the satellite company, ladies and gentlemen. So, 8,000 from 9,005 to 8,003, again, we still couldn't pay it. I succeeded to get the satellite company to agree that we are shutting down ABC, just to be able to sever the relationship with that satellite company so that we could look for something cheaper, ladies and gentlemen. So I told the satellite company, we cannot pay 8,003 anymore. We can't afford it. We will shut down. And so I severed the contract with the satellite company. They let us go. And we got a cheaper satellite company for $5,000. $5,000. From 9,500 to 8,003 to 5,000. 5,000. They still could not pay. Ladies and gentlemen, they still could not pay. And we thought, now this is the thing. $5,000, the satellite, the ABC is running on 2 satellites to be able to cover all of Africa. It is running on 2 satellites. But $5,000 they could not pay. And we had a meeting, including Sako, and we agreed if we cannot pay the 5,000, what if we shut down 1 satellite? So we agreed to shut down the bigger satellite and leaving ourselves with a smaller satellite that covered just West and Central Africa to the tune of $2,000. So when I see people out there writing, Secretary Chris said he was paying $8,000 for ABC, whereas it was $2,000, I just laugh and say, this is another smear campaign again, another smear campaign. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you will not see my hand. I have also seen in so many fora, some people say, oh, Chris is now talking about Sako because Sako has kicked him out of the deals. He's no longer making any money out of it. Now, after listening to me, do you see Chris making some money here? If any of you out there in this interim government, in the National Treasury, or anywhere in ABC who knew that Chris was making some money, please go out and put it out there and testify. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no vendetta in what I do. I just call things that I see are not right. Things that I see are not right. Some of you say, oh, but you brought the CDC due to Sako. That means you were sold to Laraboplay to Cameroon. No, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I will go for any money. If I am the leader of this struggle, I will go for any money. Listen to me carefully. I will go for any money that put arms into the hands of those fighters on ground zero. Not money that goes into individuals' pockets. The CDC deal was meant to bring money into the interim government. Ladies and gentlemen, it was not meant to bring money into the pocket of Sako. It was meant to bring money. Just imagine if 30 million francs on a monthly basis was coming into this interim government, furnishing FACO, furnishing Meme, furnishing Manu, furnishing Lebialem, furnishing Mezam, furnishing Momo, furnishing Bue, furnishing Go Ketunja, furnishing Menchum, furnishing Boyo, furnishing Indian and every other county in Ambazonia. In 1 year, ladies and gentlemen, every Amba fighter on the ground will be carrying an AK-47. Yes, every fighter on the ground would have been carrying an AK-47 if that money had come into the interim government. Ladies and gentlemen, when I went in to discuss about that deal, when I received the phone call, the idea was, yes, we need the money. Let CDC workers go to work and cut their bananas and clear their grass. If they will give us money that will fund this struggle, we'll take it. But it goes ugly when an individual, ladies and gentlemen, decides to take the contract and direct all the funds. In fact, we have seen one check written by CDC paid into some bank accounts in Nigeria. We're not talking empty talk here. We have seen a check written from CDC paid to some account in Nigeria, and only Sako knows what that account is for. Ladies and gentlemen, we berated Cho Ayaba when he went out to London for some fake oil deal. We thought it was wrong for a single individual to want to go out on behalf of 8 million of us to sign a deal that perhaps mortgages our oil, our resources. In Sako, there was no way we were going to allow Sako to do the same thing. No way. He had to be exposed for those deals, ladies and gentlemen. And we will expose every other person who wants to enter into deals that do not bind the entire people of Ambazonia. It was interim government's money, interim government funds. And that could have pushed our struggle in a great way by this time. All our fighters wouldn't be crying about AKs. I have messages upon messages in my phone of fighters saying, Secretary Chris, we are not being provided with anything. We are not seeing the draft money. We don't have peanuts. We don't have guns. We don't have anything. That's what the people, the fighters on ground are calling and saying. But somebody was busy negotiating, mortgaging our resources for his private pocket. And when we talked about it, he says, you know what? I'm going to give you my social security number. I'm going to give you all my bank account. Which thief steals money and put in his bank account? Not in the USA. Because the IRS, the moment you put anything over 10,000 in your account, the IRS will come after you and you will explain how you got that money. So when Sako is out there saying, you know, I will give you all my bank accounts, I will give you my social security number. No, sir. We don't need that. We just need you to go and sit there for the audit of the treasury. All those loans that you made in the treasury, we just want to know what you did with those loans. We don't need your social security number because you know we're not going to ask for your wife's own. We're not going to ask for your children's own. We don't need your own either. We just need you to go sit before the audit team and answer to loans you made. Answer to all these classified missions without names, please. We need you to go sit before the audit. That's all Ambazonians want you to do. Thank you for whoever wrote that comment there. Let me see. Jolie Jojo says, Sako was busy investing our drafted money into Bitcoin. There you go. Tower free. Leave if you're not interested. Okay, I hope you're talking to some black legs there. Desmond Fojo, and tell Sako to bring all from CDC. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying put and continue to hit that share button. At this moment, I will bring to you my monologue, ladies and gentlemen. I will bring to you the monologue for the day. But before I get there, let me say this. I promise you a very special guest today from the Ukraine by the name of Sunday Adelaja, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Dr. Sunday Adelaja, ladies and gentlemen, is a Nigerian who moved to the Ukraine on scholarship while he was only 19 years old. He moved to the Ukraine, studied there under scholarship, earned, I think, a master's degree in journalism, but then chose to go into the pastoral ministry. Dr. Sunday Adelaja planted a church in the Ukraine that became the largest single congregation in all of Europe. Listen to me, in all of Europe, counting thousands of people. 90% of them Caucasians. You were supposed to be my guest today. Unfortunately, as some of you know, there are moments when I'm bringing certain guests here on TV, I don't want to publicize it for fear of some of the blacklegs that are out there. I received a message from Dr. Adelaja this afternoon, and he said, sorry, he cannot show because of some messages that some detractors sent to him, asking him, don't appear on his show. Don't appear on his show. That guy is dangerous. That's what they told him. So he sent me a little note and said, sorry, going by what I'm reading, I cannot come. I will be no show. And so I will not be having him today. But ladies and gentlemen, many of you out there who know me, you know I do an honest job here. I can't please everybody. There is no way I'm going to please everybody. But you can trust that I will just continue to do what I do best. We have had some very, very important guests on this set. Unfortunately, Dr. Sunday Adelaja fell to the game plan of a lot of people to Cameroon detractors out there. But no problem. No problem. It is okay. But I come to you today with a very, very special message. A special talking point, special monologue on what is being called Ambazonia's, what is it? Ambazonia's Sako'S Surrogates Conference. Ambazonia's Sako'S Surrogates Conference. That is what I am hearing out there. I'm coming to you with a very special message on that conference and what Sako is trying to do. I've heard some people say, Chris, why is it that it is Sako, Sako, Sako all this time? Ladies and gentlemen, if you kill a snake and you do not cut the head, that snake will mesmerize and turn back, regain life, and destroy you. We impeach Sako and remove Sako. He is not done yet. And for as long as he continues in this clandestine hijacking of our structures, we will not let him free. Not me, not Chris, I know. ladies and gentlemen, not Chris Ano, any of them, those hanging around him, we will not, again, I promise you, we will not let them go scot-free. We will pursue them until they have surrendered every single thing, a pin that they still hold for you, Ambazonia. Do not tell me, oh, let's face La Republique du Cameroon. Yeah, there are times you do away with your detractors so you can then focus. That's just the truth. There are times you have to get rid of your detractors before you can properly focus on the cause. And when we do both, we will do both, ladies and gentlemen. So don't say to me, Chris is all now Sako. Do you realize what they are doing out there on ABC? I have listened to lots of people receive calls, read messages from Ground Zero of people telling me, Secretary Chris, if you know what they are saying on ABC to Ground Zero, if you know it, I mean, if you are watching from Ground Zero, you know what I'm talking about. That's what people call me and tell me. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, do not say, Secretary Chris, stop talking about Sako. We will keep talking about him until we have cut the head. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now take you to this monologue on what they call the ASSC. The ASSC. This is very, very important. This is very, very important because I know the question out there is, Secretary Chris, what are we going to do? What should we do? What should we do with this Sako's meeting? Is he not just consolidating himself? You get the answer here, fellow Ambazonians. Snakes don't die really that fast. When you kill one and leave the head uncut, the snake will fight to grab some fresh breath of air with the hope of regaining full life. This has been the case with former President Samuel Sako. The Restoration Council took him out a few months ago after he violated the Constitution and demonstrated such abject disrespect for our institutions. These timely actions by the people of Ambazonia should have marked the death of Samuel Sako as far as the leadership of the interim government and the struggle is concerned. But no, it didn't. But he was not immediately liquidated of all the strings, or call it all the gear belonging to the interim government. He hung on trying to use them to resuscitate his life in an impeach and remove leadership. To continue to clinch on and usurp power. In spite of his removal, Sako has created a pseudo of almost every facet of the interim government. And where you couldn't do so, he outrightly ambushed it. The recent case of the National Treasury comes to mind easily. Sako hangs on because by creating a pseudo APP, Sako hangs on by creating a pseudo unvetted cabinet. Sako hangs on by surrounding himself with a ragtag pseudo county chairs. Sako hangs on by claiming support from an illegal judicial council and illegal ethics commission. He doesn't have the Restoration Council behind him to make himself accomplished. He is touting to form his own Restoration Council this week. He has already sabotaged the audit that was sanctioned by the Restoration Council. He put out a statement the other day announcing he has sacked the auditor. Of course, he is doing these things to make believe he is still in charge. He is not. The audit is going on as sanctioned by the Restoration Council, and fraud and corrupt practices that Sako is trying to cover up in the National Treasury will be exposed to him, to his chagrin. Fellow Ambazonians, this is very important. The Restoration Council wasn't formed out of the whims and caprices of any one individual, else it becomes a rubber-stamped, hand-clapping instrument, loyal only to that individual. This is something that Sako hasn't gotten from the present Restoration Council. That is why he hates their gods. The Restoration Council was a child of the constituent will of Ambazonia, created by the representatives who gathered in Zaria, Nigeria, in the fourth conclave. The Restoration Council was created by the people to act as the balancing act in the conduct of government business. The Restoration Council was equally created to serve as interpreters of the laws of Ambazonia as enshrined in the Constitution. It was created to carry out oversight over every other structure of the interim government. Membership was never going to be by appointment, never. Members were never going to show loyalty to the government. Loyalty, ladies and gentlemen, was to the constituents and the Constitution. The president would have no powers to recall any parliamentarian or member of the Restoration Council. The president could not, by any means, influence the constituents to recall any representative from the Restoration Council. But his drunkenness for power in flagrant disrespect of the Constitution and our institutions, we have seen Sako done just this. Though the Restoration Council has vehemently resisted all attempts by Sako to usurp the council, in collaboration with some unscrupulous tiny minority in the House, he caused the withdrawal of an inconsequential few and then issued an unbinding statement dissolving or purporting to dissolve the Restoration Council. Sako was in all of this, preparing, ladies and gentlemen, preparing the way for what he plans to do this weekend. This weekend, he plans to form his own Restoration Council. He will list all the LGS in Ambazonia and then get into each of them and handpick who becomes a member of his Restoration Council. This is the plan. Like the con man that he is, he will then seek legitimacy for his own chunk of the IG from his Restoration Council. His Restoration Council will elect an executive, maybe led by Miss Winnie Lobati. It will turn around and swear in Samuel Sako as president over you, president of Ambazonia. But it will not end there. Sako's Restoration Council will then begin to usurp the powers of the legitimate Restoration Council. It will begin to issue out a counter to every statement that the People's Legitimate Restoration Council puts out there. They will duplicate the letterhead of the Legitimate Restoration Council and counter or mimic whatsoever the People's Restoration Council puts out there. They will rubber stamp every piece of executive order that Sako dreams of. It will make Sako Ambazonia, and Ambazonia will become Sako's, like in L'État c'est moi. fellow Amazonians. This kind of state and lawlessness are what we detested in La République du Cameroon system. They are what we set out to abandon, to walk away from in that country. We must resist it now and stop it before it raises its ugly head when we haven't even gotten our country back. We must cut the head of the snake, ladies and gentlemen, before it poisons us and punctures our common dream for our own free country. What Sako calls ASSC is his own imagination. It is for him. It isn't for Ambazonia. It isn't for it isn't the same ASSC we had in 2018. Sako'S ASC is the back door by which he hopes to once more propel himself to the limelight. Sako'S ASC has not been sanctioned by any legitimate constituent representative of Ambazonia. Sako'S ASC is a fraud he wants to perpetrate on the people of Ambazonia. How does Sako call a meeting for Ambazonia and one day to the conference, so-called conference, the venue remains a secret? If it is indeed meant for all of us, for all of Ambazonia, why are they not advertising the venue and opening it up for all Ambazonians? Why? What are they hiding? Who are they afraid of? Compare this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, to the first one held in Berlin, Germany, in 2018. This falls far short of what we had in Berlin, isn't it? Berlin wasn't a special or hidden event from the rest of Ambazonia. No, it wasn't. The doors were wide open for all to come in. The venue was equally well publicized for all. This isn't the case with this advertised one. If anything, it speaks volumes of the ulterior motives behind the agenda. But maybe you are asking, Secretary Chris, what should we do now? What can we do? You don't have much to do. All you should do is continue to shout out in the ears of those still giving Sako false hope, those still hanging around him, that no matter their level and duration of manipulation, that you the people, have spitted him out, that his head is chopped off, and that even if he keeps on mesmerizing the people as though still having life, that he can't leave. He can't leave. That he is not your leader. He is not Ambazonia's leader. He doesn't represent you. That he will never again dime. I mean, you will never again put your dime in his pocket, nor recognize the fabricated and fraudulent ASSC and the resultant Restoration Council, that you do not recognize him as leader of the interim government, that Iya Marianta is the president of the interim government. Fellow Ambazonians, we now know Sako is the most corrupt leader that Ambazonia has ever known from time immemorial. If Sisiko was compromised, Sako is worse. The saying goes that birds of the same feather flock together. Sako's conference is a gathering of like-minded individuals. And the things that unite them, ladies and gentlemen, are fraud, corruption, businesses they share together, and the urge to sell us all back to Yaoundé. But let me assure you of one thing. They will be defeated. In 2 months, Sako will be history. We created institutions and empowered them for situations like this one. the full weight of the executive arm of this interim government and of the Restoration Council is right now being unleashed on Sako and his collaborators. The good thing is that the full weight of American law stands behind what the Restoration Council and the leaders of this interim government do. No stone will be left unturned until Samuel Ekome Sako relinquishes all that he seeks to accomplish usurping power over us. A few days ago, you all learned that Sako sneakily, Nicodemously hijacked our national treasury with your hard-earned contributions still in there. Immediately, that information reached the new leadership of this interim government. Our machinery, plus that of the Restoration Council and our men and women at the National Treasury, was deployed to motion. As I address you today on behalf of this interim government, I am excited that we are closing in. We are closing in on the perpetrators of the hijack. With the law on our side, we will fully recover those accounts. It is only a matter of time. Already, we have recovered the government website, ambazoniagov.org, that was also hijacked by Sako. Rest assured your CID contributions have been rescued. They are no longer going into the bank accounts under Sako's control, ladies and gentlemen. The image of Samuel Ekome Sako has been replaced on the website with that of our new president, Iya Marianta. I bet you can tell right now, there is sadness, whooping and tantrums on that side. We have learned that they are right now sending out messages to CID subscribers, asking them to divert and in some cases to suspend their payments. Should you receive any such message about your CID subscription, know that it is coming from Sako or Iringwa. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ambazonians, we have suffered a lot in the hands of unscrupulous leadership. When Kakuf changed to the governing council and subsequently to the interim government, Skapag, you recall, remained under the control of Wilfred Tassa. It became like his personal property instead of the governing council. When Sisiko was abducted and government changed hands to Sako, Milan Atam and a few others in South Africa hijacked SCBC and kept it. Now, Sako has been impeached and removed. Yet, he has equally repeated history. He attempted a hijack of our treasury, ABC television, and most importantly, ambazoniagov.org, our government official website and gateway to the world. We have recovered the website, and everything that is left will also be recovered. This culture, where officials live or are made to live, and the hijacked government property must be brought to an end now. Else, we will become a laughing stock. If it means using Sako and his surrogate as an example, let it be. For all the cronies like Victorine Yagne, Five Munono, Mildred Shi, and Abuno Ikwe, whom Sako is fronting for his clandestine activities, remember, when the law gets involved, Sako will only go to court as a witness. You will be the culprits because it is your names in those clandestine documents. Be careful for the undertakings you are committing yourselves into on behalf of a leader who is illegal, who has been removed. The moment is coming when Sako, like in typical 419 gone bad, will say, and I quote, "I don't know you. I didn't cause you to sign any documents or anything or take out any forms." That moment will be coming. Ambazonians are coming after you. They say the word to the wise is enough. And ladies and gentlemen, that was my talking points. I am now joined, ladies and gentlemen, by the one and only Honorable Ann Inda, who is the Government Affairs Chair at the Restoration Council of Ambazonia. Honorable Ann, it's a pleasure to have you back here, ma'am. Good evening from London. It doesn't have, okay, I can hear you now. Go on, please.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I was saying good evening, Secretary Chris.
Beautiful now. Good to have you.
Good evening to
Ann.
My pleasure.
Thank you. You have listened to my monologue, and tell me if I went wrong anywhere, please.
No, you were perfectly on point, Secretary Chris.
Wonderful. Now, this thing that they call the ASSC, you were in Berlin in 2018 when we put together the ASSC. It was an open affair. Every Ambazonian, probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks before time, knew where the conference was taking place, especially those of you in Europe who were doing the planning. It was open to everybody. Everybody was allowed in the place. But they are planning what they call a second ASSC. I don't want to give it the acronym that some others want me to give it out there, because I think people take us seriously when we say certain things here. But they are doing these things so clandestinely, to the extent they only want you to believe this is a social media or virtual affair. But we know they are meeting somewhere in Washington, D.C. with some people they don't want anybody to know about it. Tell me, and maybe others out there, what are they afraid of and what are they hiding?
Secretary Chris, thank you for that question. I have heard that the ASSC stands for All Sako'S Surrogate Conference, and I believe that is a appellation for that for the name of that conference. And talking about the venue, have you asked yourself a question again? If they are hiding the venue, is it because of security, or is it because they don't want people to know that there are no people planning to attend that conference? I don't think they have people who will be attending the conference. So they indirectly say they're hiding the venue, and maybe you might be shocked that it will not be broadcasted because they will end up like 3 or 4 of them. It will be Dr. Sako and the Momo cartel.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised, and if possibly a few people sitting online to legitimize it. But you wouldn't be surprised with the resolutions coming from that meeting, right? Gigantic resolutions. We created a restoration council. We created a parliament. We gave His Excellency Commander-in-Chief John Frunso will say, all the powers eternity to lead us to Boya. Isn't it?
The resolutions are not going to be coming from that conference, Secretary Chris. They have everything written. They just want an opportunity to give what they have name or some relevance. And that is why, despite the bad faith in everything, they are struggling to go ahead and hold a conference that is not even represented, just to manipulate some people who are still gullible enough to be following them into believing that a few have the right to sit, call a conference, to write resolutions, and take decisions on behalf of 8 million Ambazonians. That's a fallacy. Come on.
Now, last week we all learned of the hijack of our national treasury, and right now, as we speak, there is a war. There is a war that is going on about that. What is the Restoration Council doing?
Yes, I'm just leaving the Restoration Council now. The meeting is still ongoing, and the first vote we've done is to dismiss the Secretary General, the former Secretary General, because she's been dismissed. She's done a lot of unconstitutional things at the level of the Restoration Council, in particular, and in the also against the Ambazonian populace, as we've seen in her robust outings on ABC, attempting to represent the Restoration Council without any mandate, things around using the letterhead of the Restoration Council to write her personal opinion. And one funny thing again she's done, she hijacked all the fora. She came even to the Government Affairs Committee, where I am
now,
the
you are
chair.
talking of Winnie Lubati, isn't it?
Winnie Lubati. I don't want to call her doctor because, as far as I'm concerned, she doesn't
No, you're
deserve that
correct. I
title
don't
of
blame
doctor.
you. When people call themselves doctors and they don't behave or act like doctors, it's a disgrace.
You cannot imagine that a Secretary General will have the audacity to hijack fora, strip off the chairman from strip the chairman of admin right, block all fora. Only the admins can share or write anything, and she's the only admin. She's gone to all departmental committee. Oh, sorry, all Restoration Council committees, taken off all admin rights from the chairs, because she created all these fora when the committees were structured. Yeah. So she did the creation and then put in the members of each committee into the various fora, and assigned the chairs with the admin right. When in my case, she wanted to leave the forum after my committee was set up. But I told her that no, as the Secretary General, she should just stay, because we might need her from time to time to help with some writing. And that is why she stayed. But now she took off my admin right, blocked the fora, and I simply wrote to her that, I simply wrote a text to her, asking her, telling her that she's so mean because she's just come out of her true colors. She did that 2 weeks ago, and then she forgot the leadership forum, where the heads of all the committee deliberate, and that is the fora that we did that did the last amendment of the minutes that were sent out, and the chairman immediately mistakenly said it was the Government Affairs Committee that sent that out, and she was in that meeting, and so she forgot to block that one, and I had to write her this, asking her if that's how mean is, and that I am shocked that with the level of education, with her level of intellectual understanding and respect, everything, she can go that low to hijack fora especially at the Restoration Council when she's not the chair. So I asked her,
but if I may ask, she indicated her intention to vacate the Restoration Council about, more than a month ago. Why wasn't she taken out?
No, she could not be taken out then, because we had not we summoned her and the other 7 members who single-handedly distanced themselves from a letter that we wrote at the Restoration Council. So we summoned them, and the meeting took place last week. But when we put the meeting, when we put the invitation, the letter inviting all of to a special meeting. We wanted to talk to them, outline the constitutional articles that they have violated, and how they have lived contrary to the terms of reference of the Restoration Council. But instead of attending the meeting, she knew that the Zoom link was supposed to follow, so she blocked all fora because she didn't want us to post the Zoom link. So we are just from a meeting where she has been dismissed as the Secretary General of the Restoration Council. The letter will be coming out in no time. They are working on it. The Secretariat is working on it as we speak. And tomorrow, if anywhere she goes, from tomorrow, she is no longer a member of the Restoration Council. So where she goes, and if she calls herself the Secretary General of the Restoration Council, she will be usurping that title. So Ambazonians, beware. She is no longer the Secretary General of the Restoration Council as we speak. I'm talking of Madame Dr. Winnie Lobati. She has been dismissed from the Restoration Council. And she is expected to hand over all property of the Restoration Council in her name. And it is good for her to do that as soon as possible, because she no longer belongs to the Restoration Council, and a letter will be sent to her region to replace her as soon as possible.
Wonderful. That is quite interesting. So that happened this afternoon, I guess.
Yes, I'm just from the meeting, Secretary Chris.
All right. So, did you also vote her replacement?
It was a unanimous vote. People had been calling. So there are some members of the Restoration Council who did not even want her to, who did not even want this meeting to take place, or the hearing, or their trial. But they were foolhardy and they didn't even show up for the trial. So we had no choice but to vote, because we don't want her to go to her surrogates conference tomorrow with representing the Restoration Council. So everybody has to know. And there is something, Secretary Chris. There were members of the Restoration Council that actually took a sabbatical, and like the representative, one of the representatives of Ndian, who some months back expressed some the issues he had, and family issues, and needed some time off to get them sorted before participating again at the level of the Restoration Council. Mm-hmm. So she now went on the background and started manipulating these people, calling them to join her and the other servant to restructure the Restoration Council and form a new Restoration Council. Wow. And that one would be Dr. Sako. So the members have started talking that she is calling them on the background and trying to manipulate them and asking them to join her. And now it is also certain, before this issue of Iringwa, and you and Iringwa came to the Restoration Council, before the Vice President Abongwa started whistleblowing, we got information that she was called up by Dr. Sako to replace Chairman Kometa. So, but the informant actually told us that she and another one man was called up. In a general meeting, I even said that right in front of her, that, but I got information that you were called up and manipulated to represent to replace the chairman of the Restoration Council. Is that true or false? And she said, no, that is false. That never happened. She said that in a meeting. I had called the chairman myself and said, but what are you doing? Because I hear that Dr. Sako is going around trying to replace you. He is using Winnie. The chairman told me, oh no, Winnie herself can never accept that type of manipulation. She's an intellectual. What do you take Winnie for? She cannot be manipulated like that. Yeah. And in this meeting, I asked the chairman, can you repeat that your word? And the chairman said, I'm telling you, I'm shocked. Everybody is shocked.
Well, that is quite interesting to know, the cleaning that is taking place at the Restoration Council. Now, how about the other 7 who walked out with her during the impeachment vote?
Yes, we for the issue of the other seven, we are still handling it. But her, since she's the champion, the person who has championed this misinformation and misrepresentation of the Restoration Council, we saw that it was vital for us to handle her issue with as a matter of urgency, because she's the one who is calling people and trying to manipulate them. And tomorrow at their surrogate conference, she will be calling people to send in representatives for a Restoration Council that is null and void. And why are you bothered about the Restoration Council? They have to create secretaries. Let her go and ahead and create the Restoration Council. She should learn from the what is his equal term here is. Was it constitutional or a Restoration Council or what? How far did he go with that? That one even created an impact. What look at this one, who is winning to lead that is a hand-picked SG. When the Secretary General Chris Chopper resigned, she was just confirmed, and other people turned down that position of SG. So she just accepted, and we didn't know that she was accepting because she would be working for her Momo sisters who intimidate her and bully her from left to right.
The intimidator in chief, Irene, I listened to that. I listened to that audio that Irene will put out there, trying to trash talk her. But let me go back to the original question. They try to hijack the treasury, hijack our website. Now we have the website. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to take a look at the website. Our website, ambazoniagov.org, no longer, and I think every one of you out there should be applauding for our people at the Treasury and those managing our website. Our website no longer carries Dr. Sako'S Assc as president of Ambazonia. It carries Iya Marianta Endor as president of Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to take a look of it. That is the cover page. That is the cover page of our website, ambazoniagov.org, featuring Iya Marianta instead of Samuel Ikome Sako. Now, you must understand the importance of this, ladies and gentlemen. Our website is like the gateway to the international community. People want to know anything about Ambazonia. It is to this website they go to. They want to know anything about the interim government of Ambazonia. It is to this website they go to. But Sako also hijacked it. In fact, if you get to that website and scroll down the margins, you will see the documents of the interim government, including the documents impeaching, get to that website and scroll down the margins, you will see the documents of the interim government, including the documents. That is one achievement that our team out there has made. But let me get back to the honorable lady. Again, I was asking you, what is the Restoration Council doing? What would it want Ambazonians to do to claim everything that is still in the hands of Sako? Hello, Anne. It seems I lost Anne there. She seems to be frozen, but I hope we can get her back momentarily. But that is the news, ladies and gentlemen. We have our website. We have our website back to us, taken from Samuel Ikome Sako. So when you go to that website, the image you find there for the President of the Federal Republic of Amazonia is Iya Marianta Endor. Somewhere a Commersaco is history. History. And I can assure you, in 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, you won't be remembered. All those, what do they call them? All those people surrounding him, they too will be history. Let me use this opportunity to appeal to every one of you out there still serving in Sako'S cabinet. Please come home to your interim government. Nobody will kick you out. Nobody will send you packing. We all talk about institutions. Institutions in this country we call Amazonia. If you truly respect our institutions, remember, the Restoration Council is the biggest of the institutions that we have out there. The Restoration Council is the oversight organ of this entire interim government and this struggle for independence for Amazonia. And so, we're urging all of you, do not feel like somebody's going to push you out, somebody's going to reject you for hanging around Sako somewhere. Please, our arms are all wide open, welcoming you back into the fold. All right, I think Honorable Ann is back. Can you hear me, Honorable Ann? Or you're still frozen? She's still frozen. Ladies and gentlemen, I will open the phone lines. Hoping that Honorable Ann can join me back here. But in the meantime, I will open the phone lines, take a few calls, and then we'll call it a night. All right, the phone number is right there on your screen. Let me
Secretary Chris, can you hear me now?
Right now in your mind, ladies and gentlemen.
Secretary Chris, can you hear me?
Right now. Again, the phone lines are open, and make sure that before you call, the volume of your set is turned down. Make sure that the volume of your set is turned down, please, before you call. All right.
Hello. Can you hear me now, Secretary Chris?
0. Let me see. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nizam County, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You have 50 seconds. What is in your mind?
Thank you very much. Good evening to Honorable Aunt, and I want to appreciate you up to this level. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to find out, Chris, tomorrow these people have a meeting. What happens if they will come up with another restoration council to stand against you and probably to refuse you, like what happens to, like Peter rejected Jesus 3 times? What would this present restoration council do, or this new leadership do, in order to bring them down?
Let me ask you. Hold on there. Talking about, I don't know whether you listen to my monologue, but talking about the restoration council, sort of. Who cares? Anybody can form anything. It is the legality of it that matters, isn't it? Anybody is allowed to form anything. What matters is whether you out there, Ambazonians out there, people like you calling, what matters is whether you recognize it to be a legitimate organization. But I can assure you, nobody is showing up at that event. If they show up, they will be in their teens, maybe 14, maybe 19, maybe 18, and then you will hear, we are postponing the formation of the Restoration Council. You will hear stuff like this. So nobody should be worried about some illegal clandestine restoration council that Sako thinks he can't be putting out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you are right, Secretary Chris, but because you see, we here on Ground Zero, we really believe in you, Secretary Chris, and but when we see the way things are going, when we are suffering and dying down here, but over there, when we listen to you, we believe you. We listen to them also, they seem as if nothing has ever happened, and if everything is okay, they keep on going with activities as if there is nothing happening anywhere. So anyway, Secretary Chris, we just pray that you should bring that our mama on the screen, and we'll let's hear from her, and we can also pray for her and let things keep going right. And there's one thing. Sorry, Secretary Chris, please. We talk a lot about them. You will talk a lot about them. Meanwhile, you have a vision to follow. I believe that we should focus on the vision and forget about these people and let the Restoration Council know how to deal with them.
You make sense. You hold on there. You make some sense there. Hold on. Listen to me. Hold on. Listen to me. You make some sense there. But again, I don't think you listen to my monologue. When you kill a snake and you do not sever the head of the snake is not dead. That is what it is. Okay? And we have to tackle that from every angle, be it from the Restoration Council, from the social media, every angle, television included. We will keep on doing that until the head of the snake is severed. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Honorable Ann, you are on and off. I don't know whether, I think you are still frozen. You are still frozen. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? All right, Honorable Ann cannot hear me. Let me get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Secretary Chris.
Hello. Okay, the connection is, this is bad network. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
Secretary Chris, good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
You're calling from Ground Zero. Where precisely?
I'm calling from Bamenda.
All right. And you have 1 minute. What is in your mind, sir?
I just want to thank you for the good work that you have been doing, because since you started this struggle, I've been following you and I've been seeing what you have been doing. Don't let the distractors distract you.
Thank you.
Don't let them distract you. And I want to speak exactly to Sako, because you should know that Moses never reached the promised land. And Moses never fight Aaron and Joshua. He should allow the people God have chosen them to go. Whether he fight for how many days, he will never win. His time have passed. So that is the only thing I would tell him and his group. Because we are following them and we are seeing what they are doing. They are very, very dull. If your term of office pass, leave the people go. Yes. And one thing I believe is that the ambassador will reach to the promised land, no matter what, whether Sako, whether who, we must go. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Run safe out there. Okay, let's see who is next. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from DC.
From DC. Okay. And what is in your mind, sir?
Yeah, my concern is about the CDC deal.
Okay.
With Sako. I assume that Sako did not channel did not use this money alone. Assume that this money was used by all the 13 counties the way we wanted. Are you sure having the deal with La Republic will be able to execute or to fight our war against CDC the way we want it? Because how will you be under the paycheck of all the deal with La Republic, and then you will be able to fight them with conscience?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. I think I have heard that out there. Listen, a business deal is a business deal. It is not reached with the government of La Republic of Cameroon. And in so long as it doesn't compromise the vision, the plan, the roadmap, it is a good deal. And for as long as it does what we intended it to do, CDC is a business. Does it make sense to you? We could make business with any company, even Sonora or whatever, for as long as the money comes into Ambazonia's treasury. This is what is wrong. This is what is wrong with what Sako'S did. Listen, if you have to commit Ambazonia or sign any deal with anybody, with any company, no one person in this interim government or struggle has any right to do so. If he had brought in the vice president, if he had brought in the treasurer, if he had brought in the chair of the Restoration Council, confine in them to say, listen, this is what we are about to do, we will say he was transparent. But you know, once some documents were forwarded to him, he cut off the middle guy. I mean, the documents to be signed. He cut off this middle guy, Mola Idi, the faculty chair. He cut him off. At that time, I had handed it to them and walked away. The moment the agreement was to be signed, he cut off the faculty chair, which means he was about signing it all by himself. And I have said right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a check signed by CDC to him, deposited in one Nigerian bank account. No one person should be entering into any deal whatsoever on behalf of this struggle. If that has to be done, the chair of the Restoration Council or the secretary, the national treasurer, the vice president, they all must be aware. This is what is wrong in this so-called CDC deal. Does it make sense, sir?
Yeah, it makes sense. My last concern is about the president. It's as if we have derailed our function, our fighting spirit, and we're all the time embarking on Sako'S issue. We have to have two goals here: how to kill the snake and cut the head. Why the president is functioning?
You are very correct. You are very correct.
So if the new president is sleeping, since when she was inaugurated, she went into silence and giving impression that she's not a vigorous president. We want somebody at least who will come out now very strongly and then start giving the image back to the ground zero. You don't only keep quiet, and then the only time you surface out was to say Happy Women's Day to Ambazonian.
All right. Let's give him a few days. Let's give her a few days. I believe she will be addressing the nation before the weekend. Listen, it is difficult to appreciate what she is doing without seeing it. I know she is busy trying to put some things together. We're having meetings on a daily basis, and I will say she is not sleeping on the job. Just be a little bit patient, and you will hear from her. All right.
Thank you. I wish all of us good success.
Thank you, sir. You have a great night. All right. Honorable Anne, you are still frozen out there. You are frozen, and that's why I can't get to you. Let's get to this other caller again from Ground Zero. Hello. Bad connection. All right, let's get to the next caller. Hello.
Hello.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV, please?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Secretary. Hello.
I can hear you, sir. Where are you calling from?
Hello. I'm calling from Ground One. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What is in your mind?
Many things.
Okay, you have 1 minute to say as much as you can.
So, please, I'm still begging. Last time I called you, please, let's look for a way and remove this ABC, this national channel from Sako'S surrogate. Please, I'm begging. This channel, they are using these channels to deceive many Amazonians, especially in the ground zero.
Hold on there. Hold on there. I hope they are listening to you, because you are not the first caller who calls here and say they are using ABC to deceive people. I hope they know that all they do is deceive you guys on ground zero and ground one. If that is what they are trying to achieve, then it is pathetic. Yes, go on, sir.
Not for me, they cannot deceive me. Me and you, we are talking for the other ones, the innocent ones that they are deceiving them. Please. I'm begging again. I want to say something. I hope they are hearing me now. This guy is doing this show all the time. This Paul Milong concerning the CDC deals. That is talking with the director whatsoever. Please, I just want to talk to Paul Milong and to the others. All the other deals that you have been mentioning it, why has it not come with the investigation? Only the CDC deal. All the other deals that you have been mentioned, the one Sako went to Brazil, that for Ambassador Chokbo went and sell his books. The one with the other person, you call that person who has a Nigerian name like that, Obi what?
Okay, don't wanna be, yes.
Thank you, that's the name. These other deals, many, even the one, the other guy that said that Sako wanted to take their house.
Oh yeah, the one with the haunted house, the supposed haunted house, right?
I mean, I would like Paul, to bring out those investigations. Not only the CDC deals, not only. There are thousands of deals that you mention, you Secretary Chris, and the other leaders they mention. Why they are only playing only that one at CDC deals?
Let me tell you, I will not even ask them to bring anything. I will ask them, just go for the audit that the Restoration Council has called for. Audit, simple, right?
Yeah.
Because when they get to the audit, because when they get to the audit, the Restoration Council will ask them about CDC. The Restoration Council will ask them about everything, maybe including the haunted house.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling. Thanks for the call. Have a good night. Honorable Anne, can you hear me? You are frozen.
Yes, I can hear you now. I don't know why I was freezing anyway.
So you are listening to the phone calls. I want to believe. Anything to say there?
Yes, I do.
All right, go on.
No, I'm just happy Ambazonians are not fools, and they have not been allowed to be fooled. See, I have this good quote from Thomas Jefferson who says, He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it the second time. That is, if you are, and if he who permits himself to listen to a lie once will always believe lies from people who tell lies. So if Ambazonians all wake up and debunk this lie from this error of a man, then Boya will be our destination. I'm happy to hear that Ambazonians already know that they are being fooled. Okay, Secretary Chris, not just responding. I want Ambazonians to go home with one question. If you go to the border of Mexico, you have hundreds of thousands of Ambazonians there, blocked, trying to enter America to work. If you go to the Sahara Desert and the sea, Ambazonians are dying trying to cross to Europe. How comes Ambazonia will support somebody who has managed to enter America, deliberately refuses to work, and waits for you people who are struggling to walk on foot to contribute money, pay his driver, give him stipends, his wife, fund his Bitcoin business, and until you go to Boya. And do you believe that you ever go to Boya? Do you think that he will one day allow you to go to Boya? Then who will pay his rent? Secretary Chris, you are muted. I don't know. You are muted. Secretary Chris, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Somebody has said Sako is not about Boya. It's not about going to Boya.
No.
He cannot set foot on Sako for the so many families he messed up with their lives. And so he can sit around here dangling and carrying on this cacophony, marking time, and perhaps signing his dues with other people to Cameroon, making Ambazonians believe he is fighting for Ambazonia, whereas he is not, because he knows there are families back there. The guy with the house, the haunted house, for example, Sako, he said Sako was there for 6 years. 6 years, paid no dime. They had to buy cement to park in that house to use in ejecting him. And
don't
after that
forget
story,
the fact,
I had some people write to me from Tico who said he was put in charge of a credit union in Tico,
Wow.
or was it in Victoria? And they came one day, the credit union was shut down and the man had escaped. This guy is not prepared to go back to ground zero. Let people understand this. Yes, go on, please. Hold on, let me get this caller and then I'll get back to you. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Gabon.
Gabon. Okay. What is in your mind, sir?
Yes, what is in my mind is that I have two questions.
All right.
Yeah, the two questions is that since for 4 months, what is the way forward? You are doing a good job, but you come out every time and insult Chris Sako.
Okay.
Why you yourself, a month before Can, you call a fighter? I was in ground zero.
Yeah. Where were you on ground zero?
I was in Tico.
Okay, I call a fighter in Tico.
He called a fighter in Fako. I will not call his name.
You are lying, sir. You are lying. You are lying. You are lying. You don't call here and lie. I don't know any fighter in Fako. All right, Honorable, and go on. These are people who call to fake stuff. Go on, please.
I know. You should be expecting that every day. I was just saying that for the issue. Don't forget that he even went and tried to connive with a bookshop to issue fake receipt for the haunted house in order to take down the people who wanted to push him out. So you know he's a thief from inception. He's a born thief. Sorry to say that.
I think Ambazonians have finally discovered him, except for the few who are calling with their conspiracy theories, like the one who just called. Said I call Said I call where? Is it Fako or what? Let's see. This guy's been trying to call here. This is bad connection. Bad connection. Let's see who next. Hello. Hello. This is a bad connection also. Let's see who is calling next. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to call it a day, but let me allow Honorable, and your connection today was not the best, chopping off on and off. I guess you are not in a good location with your internet, but please, I know you had a message to read out to Ambazonians from the Restoration Council. I don't know whether you have that message now.
Yeah, but let me just talk about the Treasury, because the Restoration Council is working on another document to send to the people of Ambazonia. We have noted that every leader in this revolution who has been voted out of office, impeached, or simply asked to step aside has attempted or has pulled state-owned institutions along. It happened to SCAPAC, SCBC, Ambazonian Foundation, and funds at the Treasury under Sisiko as well. And it is exactly the same thing Sako is trying to do. We want Ambazonians to know that whoever makes a fund or organizes a fundraiser with the intention of funding ground actions is not the one who owns that money. The money belongs to the people on the ground. The Restoration Council is trying to make sure that every fund raised for the goes to the ground. Don't be manipulated. The Restoration Council has no access to funds at the Treasury. We are not in contact or connection to the Treasury funds. We have never signed one single requisition to the Treasury for funds. So anything the Restoration Council is doing is for the interest of the people on the ground. We want people to go out there, raise funds, and do exactly what they said those funds were being raised for. We are going to stop this thing where leader comes in, thinks that if he is falling, he will pull down others. And let me borrow this good quote from Michael Luther King Jr. that the time is always right to do what is right. The moment you discover that something is wrong and you don't do what right, then you are guilty of an offense. So when the Restoration Council realized that this is what is happening and we stood up, that was the right time. Don't ask us why we stayed or we remained silent for long. This is the right time, and we are calling on you, top surrogacy. Stand up for institutions, stand up for the people on the ground, and not for somebody who is in a Western world, refuses to work and wants you to fund him for the rest of his life. Please, Ambazonians, don't be manipulated. The National Treasury will remain the property of Ambazonia. Every leader who comes up now will work with the Treasury, leave it for his successors, for his or her successors, because now he's a lady. So nobody will think that they own Ambazonia. No one individual owns Ambazonia. And Secretary Chris kept saying that he has some surrogates. At the end of the day, they are not surrogates, Secretary Chris. They are his business associates. The Ambazonia was partitioned between these few. So they own Ambazonia. These people who are crying tooth and nail are the people who who think that they own Amazonia and they own this revolution. And most often, if you see, have you what happened to Field Marshal Niti's draft? It never went to him. He lamented. Ndian draft of over 20,000 vamoose like that. Ndian did not get a dime. So what goes with the money? Secretary Chris, his attempt to hijack the treasury is to puncture the audit at the National Treasury. The Restoration Council is playing the role of an observer. The Restoration Council is not doing any carrying out any audit. Don't be misinformed. The auditors are doing that, and the Restoration Council is just observing. I did not have to say this on air, Secretary Chris, but I happened to attend one of the meetings as an observer. And Secretary, if you saw what was happening at the National Treasury, you will not even sit here and smile. I asked a question, and if Richard Tangu is here, I called him and I asked him, Richard Tangu, how comes the president's wife, who is this Doris? Is the president's wife, and how come she takes out 2,800 to 3,000 every month?
The president's wife.
What? The president's wife. Her name is all over the treasury, the audit. Only for 2020, and name card over $30,000, Secretary.
Over $30,000 to the president's wife in 2020.
In 2000, over $30,000.
Is that amount different from the range, the 2,400?
Secretary, that was just, I was interested in the name, Doris.
Yeah.
Who is she? It's the president's wife. Even if they are paying the rent of the president, supposed to be the wife who brings the requisition to withdraw from the treasury? No. Hell no.
I can't wait for all the evidence that you people have stocked at the Restoration Council when you are done with all the investigations and the audit.
You interest Amazonians to know that when there are certain names, and now I understand when I went into that audit meeting, and everything was being explained, I understood a lot of things, and then I now saw why some particular names are hanging around Dr. Sako and can die for him. You could see like Frank and Associate. 2021, he alone to more than $120,000.
That's Frank. That's the guy I keep calling here all the time. That's Frank Chime of Ngoketunja.
Yes.
Yes.
He alone. He alone withdrew over $120,000. When I say withdrew, I mean with the use of requisition. Had received over $120,000 alone. What business does he have? Because even in every month he had 8,000, 7,000, 6,000 per month. And in 2020, we know that Ngoketunja was not doing anything. So that is why Sako does everything to stop the audit and treasury, because he knows that all this will be exposed. And you saw him trying, even though he does not have the powers, dismissing Dr. Metuge, chair of the audit committee. It is laughable because whether he dismisses him or not, every record, all the bank statements,
all the records have been put together.
Put together. The Restoration Council, it has all of them as well. We are waiting for them to do the minding of the statements, and then we'll bring them to the Amazonian people.
And one thing that I have learned very recently, I mean, in a matter of days ago, is that people, some requisitions went to the treasury with names of people who had no idea about these requisitions. And money was actually cash in their names. And when they were asked, they say, I really don't know why my name was there. Can you imagine that?
I saw chairman, especially I am both from two counties, Secretary Chris, Boyo and Mencho. You understand?
Yes.
I could see transactions with huge sums of money to the tune of 26,000 taken in one installment by one of these chairmen who never did anything. I'm not going to say they need to call them up, but the only good thing is that Richard said they were signed by the president.
Right.
And we asked,
of
what
course,
did these people
once
do?
the president signs it, it is it's a done deal.
What did these people do with this?
Especially a man we always thought was God sent, right?
What did these people do with this money, Richard, when you signed it? And he will say, that is a good question. I've gotten one receipt. I've called this one, or like this, the person, I called this one to no avail till date, since 2020. We have never known what we did with that money, and nothing. And then there's another funny one. When the president visited, the former president, Sako, visited Brazil, the pastors there paid for Brazil.
Brazil, okay.
The pastors there paid for his lodging, feeding, accommodation, and everything for the visit. The people there. Yeah. But he kept the receipts with his mentor, brought them back to the National Treasury and collected the money again, only for the National Treasury to realize later on that he had taken the money twice.
Wait, take that again. The Brazilian host paid for his bills.
Paid for his everything, the flight, his
bills, his stay over there.
And lodging, and everything. But he took receipt back to Richard and collected
the expenditure. And I am also aware that that particular trip, a number of groups, I know of Chicago, for instance, a group in Chicago thought they were the only ones sponsoring the whole trip. I think they sent about $4,000 to him to sponsor the trip to Brazil.
We have four
groups.
Four different people who have testified for being the sole sponsor of those trips.
You have four people who have testified.
Yeah, 4 different testimonies. Just like one of them is the one you have just said. Thought they were the ones sponsoring it, and surprisingly, the National Treasury still had to pay. When they came back from Brazil, his mentor traveled to Nigeria for his business trip.
Who are you referring to as his mentor?
Pastor Commando. That is his mentor for 45 years.
Right.
That one he personally told me, Sako, a pastor, and Sako, President Sako, Dr. Sako co-pastored under him. Back home so he has been his mentor for 30 years.
Right. All right, hold on. Let me take this. Just hold on there. Let me take this caller from Ground Zero and dismiss him so we can continue. Hello.
Yes, sir. Greetings, sir. I want to thank you for Emmanuel from Menchum County calling.
All right.
I want to thank you for the wonderful job that is being done.
Thank you.
I have some questions to ask.
Okay.
My first question is, most of the people that have been coming up on like the and talking this have always a number of people, 4, 5, so on, that have been testifying and so forth, which shows that majority of the Amazonians are on these sides, not with Sako and his gang. The question I want to ask is, can we not forget about Sako, make as if he does not exist at all, and his gang? Go ahead, especially now that we have a president. Organize maybe our drafts with this majority of the Amazonians, and then
comrade, hold on. Did you listen to me from the beginning? Did you join the show from the beginning?
I got you when you talked about a snake killed the head.
All right, thank you.
I got you very well.
All right. Again, what you say makes lots of sense. But again, there is no way No way. It is easy to say, just forget about him. Just forget about him. When he is hanging around you and doing things that distract you, you must then have to do everything to get rid of him or get rid of her. There is no way you focus without getting rid of him. You can't pretend that he doesn't exist when he's hijacking your treasury. It doesn't make sense. When you hijack your treasury with about $200,000 in there, how can you say, let's just forget about him? It's not possible. When you say he's forming another restoration council, how do you just forget about him? So it makes sense what you are saying if he was not doing anything. You understand?
Like I was saying, I am getting you very well. Like, I wanted to learn by saying that my father, there's a proverb saying that a mango tree that does not bear fruit, nobody throws a stone there. But the one that has fruits is the one that they throw stones there. And this proverb, many of us are understanding, and then it is actually making some people that were against him now are looking up like this is the only guy who's working. That's why everybody is hanging around him. That's why everybody started talking about him. Don't you think that if we continue and we continue arrangement that the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we wanted to be talking Sako.
No. We did not have a leader up to a week ago. Now we have a leader. She's coming up with an agenda, and you will start hearing from her. You will start seeing this interim government resuming firepower on the ground. But while we pursue that, we must kill the snake and cut the head, the snake. That is Sako, because you don't sit there and say, forget about him, and he is about to go away with over $200,000 of your money, sir. It just doesn't work. It cannot work when he is trying to usurp every institution in this interim government. You say, let's just forget about him. No, you are empowering him. Get him out and focus. Thank you for the call. All right. Honorable Ann, am I wrong in that statement? Because I know, I don't know whether there are his supporters calling him with that suggestion or not.
Yes, one thing I want to say to his supporters is that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. That is quote that I'm borrowing. If you say we should about someone sleeping now, I dare to change passwords of accounts that do not belong to him, then you are serious. You are not ready to go to Boya. We have to hit the hammer on the nail until it goes down. Then we know we have mended what we intend to do. We cannot forget about him. How can you forget about somebody who ordered an audit? Ordered an audit only for you to be audited, Secretary Chris. Don't forget Sako was the auditors to start the audit. ABC was the first. After ABC, what happened? He went silent.
Right.
We at the Restoration Council waited to continue. Then instead of then we started asking him what is happening to the auditors. What came after that? The restoration was rendered dysfunctional according to him. Power. The same Restoration Council that made him president impeached. Isn't it laughing?
Absolutely. All right. Please hold on there. Let's get to this caller. Hello. Hello, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, Mr. Chris.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. 5 on 5. Go on and make your point. Calling from, this is Sweden, right? Or Denmark?
Norway.
All right. Norway. Yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the good job, Chris. And I can really feel that you are very exhausted all these days. Thank you very much. How I wish we were already in Boya for this job you are doing.
Thank you.
However, this is something I want us to talk to Amazonians, be the diaspora, Ground Zero, Ground One, all Amazonians. The Restoration Council is doing a lot of work. I mean, good work. They are burning the candle all the time. But for the Restoration Council to succeed, all Ambazonians need to help them by following instructions from the Restoration Council. Because the Restoration Council as a body doesn't have a method of or a mechanism to enforce their decision. They don't have a police force, they don't have a judiciary.
Correct.
So the only police force they have is the individual Ambazonians respecting their instruction. That's the only way we can help them. Because if we don't align with them and listen to them, there's no way they can enforce their decisions. Because
that's
we
right.
have police force that can run after people.
That's right.
So all Ambazonians, you Chris, let them bear in mind that Sako is bad news as soon as all of us line up with the decisions coming from the Restoration Council and follow their instruction. Then Sako is bad news. We are tired of this guy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, sir. You have a great night over there. All right, that will be the. Would that be the last caller for the night? Let's see. Let's take this one. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Please, thank you. Good evening. Can you turn down the volume of your TV set, please, and focus on your phone?
Yeah, I already turned it down.
All right. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. All right. And what is in your mind?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, I've been watching all this drama in Ambazonia for all these 3 months or so. But at the bottom of it, I think what we should be doing is we are trying to, this insanity as I can see, because it happened with Siko, it has happened with Sako, and I think what Ambazonia should think is the best thing for us to do is identify Ambazonians. Ambazonia should have social security numbers and ID cards. I think any group that believes in Ambazonia can collaborate on this idea of identifying Ambazonians. From then, we don't need audits. We will know precisely who paid what at what time, who was taxed. Then we'll avoid this problem of this embezzling of this, took money of this, money unaccounted for.
Well, I don't think it's a good idea, but I don't think it solves misappropriation, embezzlement, and so on. Because, for example, when somebody puts out a requisition like Sako will do and call it classified mission, nobody knows the purpose for which that requisition is made. And then the money is given out. He never comes back to say, okay, this was the mission, this is what we achieve, or this is what we do. You still hasn't stopped corruption. You understand what I mean? For as long as, anybody, not just the president, can write requisitions without indicating what those requisitions are for.
Because what I'm trying to say is we are working now on estimates. At the end of the day, we don't know how much came in. Because
no, we know that. I think, Honorable, and if I'm wrong, correct me. I think we know that. We also know what went out. What we do not know exactly is what it went out for and to who.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then my second question is Ambazonia, at the end of the day, I think Ambazonia will be like Somali and Somaliland with La Republic du Cameroon. So I think we should be looking at it this way. If we, at the end of the day, we are not recognized by the United Nations, what future do we have? How do we protect our territory?
Well, I believe when we get to that door, we will cross it, isn't it?
I just hope so.
All right. All right. Thank you for the call.
Okay, same to you.
All right. Okay, that will be the last caller for the night. Honorable, and I give you the last word. 1 minute, so.
Secretary Chris, I was still talking about the national, and I was talking about about Sako'S who came to Brazil with him and then said he was going to ground one for his private trip. Along the line, he missed his flight.
Who was going on? Who was going
Stayed
to
in a
ground
hotel.
one? Who was going to ground one?
I said Sako'S mentor from Brazil, Pastor Commando.
Okay.
He was going to ground one after their mission to Brazil. He had a private trip. That is what came up in the audit, because
Okay.
I saw his name coming up, especially in 2020, and I told the auditors, hey, look, this is from Menchum. This is one of my counties.
Yeah.
This man did not have any position in 2020 to get any requisition from the national jury. Why is his name all over here? And then I had to call Richard. I said, Richard, I need clarifications here, because even though I'm not the auditor in chief, I am an observer, and this is one of the red flags I am identifying. What here? Because he was not, like now, he's chair of the county. Then he was not even a vice chair. What is his name here? And I was told that he went for a private trip to ground one. It was not for Ambazonia. It was not even that was known. Along the line,
but he used Ambazonia's money to go there?
No, he used his money. When he missed his flight, stayed in a hotel, everything on his. When he came back, he brought a requisition. He came to the National Treasury, found him. Can you imagine?
You went on his private trip, missed his flight, came back, and made a requisition to the National Treasury, and they paid him.
They paid him.
But for what reason? For what reason would the National Treasury be paying him? Were they just dishing out money?
No, for the reason that he brought a requisition signed by Dr. Sako that be reimbursed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So how do you cope with such an around the money?
Okay. Now let me ask you. I think if I'm not
to prosecute the war.
If I'm not forgotten, you had made mention during your impeachment evidence presentation that some bank accounts were discovered, some in Brazil, some in Nigeria, and Commando was in the middle of the bank accounts. Am I correct?
Yeah, from what we were presented with the evidence, even with the treasurer, from the treasurer Tana, who the evidence from the National Treasury, his Commando had one of the accounts, and during the president's own testimony, most of the accounts that were on that were suspended in were also said to be registered. So maybe that is the trip he went for. Nobody knows.
So he had an account in Brazil, accounts in ground one.
For the one of ground one, I cannot testify, but I know of the one he had. We have it at the level of the Restoration Council, an invoice to the account, In
the account is where in
for
Brazil?
The launching of his book.
Okay.
No, it is about America. So
okay.
The account is in America.
Okay. All right. Listen, I know that there is so much that you can talk about, and it is not the appropriate time yet because the audit is still ongoing. Most of you will be coming back in a round table to discuss after the results, the reports are published, what you find. But thank you for joining me.
The fact is that, Secretary.
Yes, please.
One now is trying to run away from the audit report. When the audit report will be made public, Ambazonians will be manipulated to know that the audit chair was dismissed, the Restoration Council is dysfunctional, so the audit is null and void. So you have to make sure Ambazonians know that the audit is still ongoing and the Restoration Council is observing every step of the audit, and they will bring the right to you, and they will bring the embezzlers of all the donations and funds you have been collected. And I call on you to rally the Restoration Council, support the Restoration Council, go back to your counties, kick out all those chairmen that invested in Bitcoin and in shares to take over Amazonia, and reconstitute yourself. For those who are not who do not have members, send in members to the Restoration. You get the right information from your own representatives. Do that. Amazonia, he has no right to dissolve the Restoration. He is the one who is dysfunctional and not the Council. Thank you.
All right, thank you, the Honorable and Chair of Governmental Affairs Committee at the Restoration Council. You have a great night, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, that was Anne Inde, the Chair of the Governmental Affairs at the Restoration Council. I look forward to having her back. Just as you've heard, we need every LGA to reconstitute if you are not being represented at the moment at the Restoration Council. You need to reconstitute to send a representative to the Restoration Council, to the Treasury Board of Directors. This is very, very important. The Treasury Board of Directors is made up of representatives from all the 13 counties. If you are not represented there right now, or anyone seated there on your behalf is seated there on the side of Sako, make sure that you reconstitute a new representative and send to the National Treasury Board. Again, that is very, very critical. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight. It was a great pleasure being with you. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Friday will be a special program here. Mike Fossey will be launching the show. What's the name again? The name is... I think it's, is it Face the Nation or something like that? But ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Mike Fossey will be launching a show, a new show here on Friday. Then on Saturday, Fritz Misodi will also be launching a new show. Now, these are shows that will be coming up on a weekly basis. Thank you for tuning in, and do not forget to get to our website to find out a little more, to read the news, breaking news from across the globe on our website. And do not forget to click on the donation button to subscribe to ABS supporters. All right. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Again, I look forward to coming back here very soon. Very, very soon. God bless you all. All right. Good night.